welcome back. We have had some very, very interesting guests. And then for this segment, even better. But first and foremost, thank you. We want to thank you and our sponsors for their dedication to helping this profession grow and to making this weekend so very special. This particular vignette is sponsored by Biotics Research. Biotics Research has been a leader in the nutrition industry for over 50 years. Known by top quality supplements and enhanced product delivery systems, they drive advancement by focusing on research initiatives, unique product formulations, and unprecedented quality control. Family owned with a rich history, they're not only one of the valued partnerships with healthcare professionals, they're part of your world. Let's listen to Biotics.
Hi, my name is Dennis DeLuca, the president of Biotics Research. In the late 1950s, my cousin was diagnosed with a serious illness, and my father became determined to help him. The prognosis was not good, but through science-based nutritional intervention, my cousin's quality of life exceeded medical expectations. It was that illness that brought several family members together, which led to the founding of Biotics Research in 1976.
We're excited to welcome two fantastic guests this afternoon on a Saturday, and yes, we are so grateful that you're still with us. We have Tonya Horton and Dr. Dan Grossman from the Arthritis Foundation. Dr. Tonya Horton is a nonprofit executive, advocate, and arthritis champion, dedicated to ending health inequities with a doctorate in educational leadership and personal experience navigating osteoarthritis. She serves as the Arthritis Foundation's National Board and Chair in New Jersey's Leadership Board as well. A passionate volunteer, thank you.
You're welcome.
She also reviews medical research, the grants, and advances public service through Delta Sigma Theta sororities. Dr. Dan Grossman, a third-generation chiropractor, we know about legacy chiropractors all weekend long, we've talked about them, is a director of chiropractic at the Neurosurgeons of New Jersey, a founder of Bell Wellness. Specializing in arthritic and degenerative spinal conditions, he serves on the Arthritis Foundation New Jersey Leadership Board, the only chiropractor nationwide in this role, thank you, and bridges the gaps between chiropractic care and arthritis advocacy. Thank you both, not only for being here today, but your immense ability and willingness to give back. I think that's what makes this world go round.
Yes.
So thank you so much for being here, Dr. Tonya, if I may, and Dr. Dan. It's nice to be able to share in these moments and kind of reflect on where do we go. There's people listening right now that are so grateful that you're not only involving them in advocating for what's going on in their lives, but also changing the needle in the treatment therapies that are being across the nation that are happening. So it is a blessing to have both of you. I want to start off first. Tell me about the Arthritis Foundation so our listeners and viewers today really know more about what you do and why you do it.
Yeah, so the Arthritis Foundation is a 75-year-old nonprofit, and we're set up to provide education, information, access, and advocacy information around arthritis. We work on policies at the state and local level. We also work with patients and volunteers nationally and across the country to explain what arthritis is, but also to provide support for people who have arthritis so that they are actually able to live a fuller life.
I love that. I think everybody that is suffering with arthritis really wants to have the fullness that they can achieve, and that can range on any given day,
Yeah,
and it can
I
range
know personally.
right on any given hour. It's like having someone like you come into their life and help them find better, do better, have better. That's really where we connect. We connect on that level.
Yes.
Thank you for your service. Thank you to the Arthritis Foundation. Now, Dr. Grossman, this is a very important part because there are a plethora of opportunities out there, and you jumped in full force and started to engage yourself. But what opportunities are there to engage with the Arthritis Foundation?
Well, the Arthritis Foundation has been absolutely wonderful. I became involved with them through one of the walks and one of the fundraisers that the Arthritis Foundation does throughout the year. And as I became involved, I realized, wow, this is such a huge component of what we treat every day. Degenerative arthritis, osteoarthritis, some rheumatoid type arthritis conditions. And I realized that there really isn't, there hasn't been a larger presence of chiropractors working with the Arthritis Foundation and working with some of these nonprofits. And so I thought it was an amazing opportunity, and I was fortunate enough to have been welcomed into their world and invited on the board, and it's been wonderful ever since. And here we are at a large chiropractic convention with the Arthritis Foundation. It's a wonderful merging of two very, very special worlds, and so I'm proud to say that it's evolving.
It is.
Yeah.
Bringing together just to be able to lift up and elevate and then raise awareness. I think, Dr. Horton, that's one of the keys that we move
Yes.
forward. I love that you mentioned the walk. Can you share, because a lot of our viewers today, we've been talking a lot about movement and what it means to engage, because what doesn't move starts to slowly be decrepit. And oftentimes we miss when we're in pain. Movement is actually a gain to our overall health and well-being when done at the appropriate time. Can you share a little bit about the walk?
Yes, so the Arthritis Foundation has several signature events, one of which is the Walk to Cure Arthritis. There are walks happening during this season all across the country. We have one happening tomorrow in Long Branch, New Jersey, on the Jersey Shore, and one coming up on June 1st in West Orange, New Jersey. But the purpose of the walk is to, one, honor people who have arthritis, who are involved in the arthritis world. So we're honoring physicians, we're honoring patients, we're honoring young kids who have been recently diagnosed. It's also an opportunity to raise money for the foundation. So each market has a particular goal that we're working towards, and we have several teams. I have my Walking with Tonya team, where we raise funds to support the Arthritis Foundation.
Oh, that's beautiful. Walking with Tonya. I wish I was not on the West Coast. I'd walk with you tomorrow. Walking with Tonya
always
is
donate.
so beautiful. That's
Thank
that's
you.
an important aspect.
Yes.
And I can see you, like your eyes just lit up, and you're like, you know what it means when
Yes.
you walk with Tonya. It's not only about alleviating, it's about inspiring and elevating. And I can see that in your face as we move forward with the ability for us to get involved, like really dig in. It's what you give in life that really determines your character, not what you get.
Yes.
And you're clearly a giver, so thank you. We
thank
appreciate
you.
that. Now, back to Dr. Grossman, because you have a role as a chiropractor in the Arthritis Foundation, and your role is really about patient care. So tell us what you've learned, some of the research that you have been involved with and seen over time statistically, and how chiropractic is really helping move the needle for healthcare lives.
Well, as a chiropractor, as most are watching, we see arthritis in our practice every single day, be it degenerative arthritis, osteoarthritis, or joint arthritis. Involvement with the Arthritis Foundation somewhat opened up my world a little bit, because I was more spinally focused or extremity focused, but the Arthritis Foundation really opened up my eyes to the other side of this, which is juvenile rheumatoid arthritis.
Sure.
How it affects young children, how it affects families, how it changes their whole perspective. We have a lot of board members and volunteers who had nothing to do with healthcare backgrounds, and only became involved in this because of their families, because of their children, and they just wanted to make a difference. And so the level of advocacy, the level of importance, the level of how it personally affects people, I was very moved by, and it opened my eyes to say, we treat these families, we treat these children, we treat these patients every single day. How can we pull all this together to take advantage of some of the resources, some of the research, the education, and find larger pools of resources to help people? And the Arthritis Foundation has been wonderful in bringing that together, and I really hope that more chiropractors would consider contributing or even becoming part of their local boards and advocating. on behalf.
I love that you asked, because when you ask, you shall receive. So the chiropractors out there, they need to know that she's walking with her people to help those that are in need, and that's the raising the funds. The people that are walking with Tonya are making a difference in the world. The chiropractors that are helping the patients to walk with you, that's the key to success. It's a joint venture. So ask and you shall receive, chiropractors out there. Now, if you're not a chiropractor, the next part is seek. Seek and you shall find.
Arthritis.org.
That's right. See, you picking up what I'm putting down. Well done.
Yes.
And now it's knocking the door shall open, and that's where we fit in. We're going to be knocking at the end of this for that last piece of financial success that we're going to need to continue moving that along. But before we go there, I want to ask a couple of questions on what other specialties play a role in arthritis patients' continuum of care.
Yeah, so over 60 million Americans have arthritis. 1 out of 4 Americans have at least one of the over 100 types of arthritis, and most people have multiple types of arthritis. So we have a range or continuum of care that we look at for people with arthritis, from being diagnosed with your primary care physicians to working with your orthopedist or your rheumatologist or your chiropractor, neurosurgery, depending on how debilitative your disease becomes. Also, holistic health care. I am personally allergic to NSAIDs. That's the drug category that includes Advil, Motrin. So I can't take any of those. So I have to find other holistic medications or healing, like acupuncture, like massages, anything that can help alleviate the pain.
I think that's really important that you share that, because oftentimes it really is this layered ability to heal.
Yes.
You know, it's not one piece, it's the coming together, that collaboration that helps a patient be the center of their care, and they know what's best for them. Like for me, when I get to these events, the first thing I do is find a chiropractor. Can you adjust me? Because it's the lifting, bending, pushing, pulling, and twisting. But when you have arthritis, it's like the amplified effects of what you can do normally, but it's so much more. It's amplified to that level of, I need some help. And I love that you're reaching out and you understand your condition. Like the NSAIDs are not on the table anymore. And the more you know, the better you do.
Yes.
And that's why I think having you come with the ability to help the Arthritis Foundation, because you work in a neurosurgical center.
Yes.
Which is actually really pretty cool, because you're collaborating.
Yes.
You're probably already integrated, actually, that ability to work with a patient where they're at
Right.
that time.
Right. Yeah, and it's really it's the bringing together of multiple worlds. At the end of the day, we're treating the same patient, and it really it shows in both the family and the advocacy side of this, but also how we treat. Tonya has a perfect example where she's limited on what she can take to manage her condition. So that's our world. We've been doing that for how many years now?
Yeah.
Natural, but also it's bringing in the other level of the spectrum, which is the neurosurgical side, and all of these different professions collaborating and having a mutual respect for what each of us does. But at the end of the day, it's all about that one patient, and we're trying to support that patient in any way we can do it. And so these types of working with organizations and nonprofit organizations and advocacy and research and certain patient care, chiropractic, even neurosurgery, it all comes together and it works and it complements each other so well. And it's just exciting. We're in exciting times with chiropractic because we're really expanding beyond what our normal patterns are. We're really reaching the far depths of not only specialties, but truly, at the end of the day, patient care.
It's really opening up awareness. And Dr. Tonya, you're going out there and you're walking with your group. And I keep bringing this up because I think when you have a team, things get much easier. And I want to thank my team being here today because they're quite fabulous. Without them, this couldn't be happening right now, as you need that team because there's no I in team.
Yeah.
And that's a key. So share with me what your thoughts are as you kind of go through and have that team approach.
So the Arthritis Foundation is a team. When I was first diagnosed with arthritis, I didn't know about the Arthritis Foundation, which is one of the reasons why I am so excited to be here and to have this platform. Because when I was diagnosed, my doctor didn't tell me about the Arthritis Foundation. A friend told me about the Arthritis Foundation. And what I found with the foundation was a team, was a group of people who were aligned similarly, who understood the condition, but also were seeking to make changes and to make a difference. So that's what I find important about the team in the Arthritis Foundation and the team that surrounds me on the day-to-day. It's important to have people who are working on a common cause.
Oh, you said that beautifully because there's a person that is watching right now, and I know because I talk to people on a consistent basis about where they're at and then where they want to go, and they've lost hope.
Right.
And when you lose hope, it's very difficult to cope. And that's why having Dr. Horton voluntarily show up today and share this information because you didn't get it.
Right.
And it becomes so much more difficult to be able to have that
to think you're navigating the world alone with this new diagnosis and not knowing where to go, who to talk to. Is our medicines my only option? And what I found from the Arthritis Foundation is no, that's not the only option that I have.
It is. And Dr. Grossman, I'm sure you can speak to that, having seen lots of patients that really come in and say, you're my last hope. Mm-hmm. And that's daunting because non-pharmacological options should be first hope.
Right.
Exactly. And it's just, it all, again, comes full circle with what chiropractors have known, what we've been preaching since the beginning of time with chiropractic. And now to bring that into a more organizational realm and to enable us to reach even just Tonya being so kind as being here at our chiropractic convention with several hundred chiropractors who now can bring this back and use these resources to help their individual patients. It just expands out like it's really an incredible reach. So we're very, very excited about where this is going, and we certainly encourage chiropractors from all around the country and internationally to participate, to volunteer, to become part of this. Because once you become more involved in this world beyond our world, it all comes back full circle, and you realize, wow, we've been doing this for such a long time, and now we can really truly appreciate it on a.
That's it. It's the growth that makes us better. And before we end today, I want those that understand now that the Arthritis Foundation is for you, it's with you, it's about you. You're the patient, you're the center, and everybody else is here to support you.
Yes.
I want to ask you, medications play a fundamental role in some people that are suffering really severely, and we want to make sure that you get the medications that you need, want, and deserve when you need them, but they're also changing over time. And it's quite impressive how much research is being done to ensure patients get the care they need when they need it, and that you start to recognize, for example, yourself, can't take NSAIDs, but I might have a different option. Can you share with me some of the highlights that you have been part of in the Arthritis Foundation that made you go, I'm so proud of this organization?
Oh wow, there's so many. I have had the opportunity to read grants, research grants, where Arthritis Foundation spends millions of dollars every year on research grants, funding different medical research. So being able to see all of the work that's happening across the country in relation to arthritis, the foundation also has a clinical trial happening now that's related to osteoarthritis in the knees particularly, which is one of the most common forms of arthritis, but also one of the most severe forms of arthritis. Many veterans who are discharged from the military, the main reason that they are discharged is because they have osteoarthritis in their knees. So being able to, one, have that level of knowledge, and then two, to be able to come to events like this, to be a national speaker. We have advocacy days where we go to the state and the national capital to just speak out about drug cost, about drug usage, the idea around step therapy where you're forced to try several drugs before you get to the one that actually works for you. Biomarkers are another thing that we're advocating for at the national level, national and state level. So being able to be involved in so many different initiatives that I didn't even realize was possible for me to speak on as a non-physician. Those are the types of experiences that I've had.
That's fantastic. You hit several things there that to me were uplifting. Is first and foremost, if you've served out there, know that we at the Foundation for Chiropractic Progress truly appreciate your service, and knowing that there's people out there that can help you, especially with osteoarthritis. But the other part that you mentioned is the grant funding and the research. A patient has the responsibility, that's the ability to respond and look for help when you need it, to be on the latest, greatest information. You know, it's interesting because just as a chiropractor, and I'd like you to comment on this, the treatment changes over time. You shouldn't get locked into one treatment therapy. You should be able to continually advocate for yourself, empower the ones around you that love you, so that when you're having troubles, they can hold you up. And I think that's a really important point that you brought up is, you know, the servicemen and women that suffer, they need a team to encourage them that just because you tried this and it worked for that period of time doesn't mean it's always going to be that treatment. There's others. And tell me what you've seen over your course of time.
Yeah, just the continuum of care of treating that patient. You know, it's as most of us in the chiropractic profession are. We see people from, you know, they start when they're teenagers, perhaps diagnosed with juvenile rheumatoid arthritis or something, scoliosis when they're younger, adolescent, and oftentimes we'll treat these people throughout a good portion of their lives. We have, I'm fortunate, I'm a third generation chiropractor. I have patients in their 70s who started with my grandfather when they were 10. And it's incredible. And you look at this and you're like, that life time of that patient and the phases and the conditions that they go through and the periods of time that we have to adjust to that. So yes, it's a constant changing and constant evaluation of where they're at and where they're going and that whole course of care. And it's so important with especially with the Arthritis Foundation and with different resources, that when things do come up, we know how to manage that, and we know how to manage that one acute condition today. But at the end of the day, it's going back to the whole lifetime and that whole lifetime care of that patient. So very important.
That whole lifetime thing is a really big piece. And Dr. Tonya, I want to focus on that. The lifetime approach. Knowing that quality of life is impacted when you don't have the education that you need. Can you reflect a little bit, because chiropractors have a whole being approach to who you are, but it's a lifestyle choice too. As a patient that has arthritis, how does the Arthritis Foundation support someone's lifestyle in terms of the choices that they're making to ensure that they're going down the best road they can go down?
Yeah, so the Arthritis Foundation, with our walks, part of the walks, there's education there on what you can do to live a healthy lifestyle. There's exercise and stretching before you walk, because that's what you should do. We have the Jingle Bell Run, which is another activity that we have. We have galas. All of our activities are designed with an educational component to make sure that people are aware. On our website, arthritis.org, there are webinars, there are regular seminars and sessions about healthy eating. There's a section on exercise, on what are the different types of exercises that you can do with arthritis, chair exercise, laying down against the wall, to make sure that you are continuing to move. There's resources on healthy living and dieting, and what are the types of foods that could cause flares, what are the types of foods to avoid, and what are the types of foods that could help you live a more healthy and holistic life.
Beautiful.
So all of those resources are on the Arthritis Foundation website.
That's why I love having you here, because some are suffering, but they're suffering in silence. And having your voice and your energy come in and say there's people that will help you, there's education that will inspire you, because you have the ability to make choices the best for you.
Yes.
Having doctors like Dr. Grossman to say, I'm going to walk with you as an architect to your best interests, so that when flare-ups happen or when you start to be unable to cope, we can start making a system for greater hope, greater ambitions, greater lifestyle choices, because quality of life is a key.
Yes.
And we don't want to live long if we're living painfully. Mm-hmm. We want to live a health span that's vibrant and supercharged. And I hope having these two fantastic people here today, that you, if you're suffering with arthritis or know someone that is close to you, a friend, a family member, maybe it is a community member that is suffering, that you reach out to the Arthritis Foundation. If you're a chiropractor, do what Dr. Grossman, lead by example. Be the person who is making time for other people, because it's not what you give, it's not what you get, it's what you give. And hopefully that reflects back. So closing words for where you are in your journey for both of you. I'd like, if you would, to reach out today, thinking back where you were when you didn't have the Arthritis Foundation. Would you share a little bit, and then also what you've learned in treating patients with arthritis?
Yeah, I'll go back to something that I said at the beginning. I didn't learn about the Arthritis Foundation from my physician. I learned about it from a friend. So the reason why I wanted to be here today is to raise awareness with physicians, clinicians, so that you can start to have conversations with your patients when they come in and say, I'm suffering from arthritis. Have you heard of the Arthritis Foundation? Go to arthritis.org. These are the different options that you have. That's what's really helped me be comfortable even speaking about the fact that I have arthritis, and being active in this organization is to know that there are people who don't have this information.
Beautiful.
And I would, what I found opening in my journey with the Arthritis Foundation is that as chiropractors, and a good part of my career has been very musculoskeletally focused, much more osteoarthritic, degenerative arthritic type of conditions. But with the Arthritis Foundation, it opened up my world to the whole rheumatology side and the whole, juvenile rheumatoid arthritis, and realizing that there's a little bit more to it than just the pure musculoskeletal model. And by incorporating that whole other side, we've built up very good partnerships with rheumatology and just different, different partners and different strategies, different pathways of pain. And it really, really, truly opened up my world, and it's really been wonderful. So I'm encouraging other chiropractors to seek this out and to participate and to be involved in it, because it's very, very rewarding, and it really opens up our ability to care for our patients.
We're a fun group.
Yeah,
of course you are. She's a fun group. You walk with Tonya. Listen, everyone, it has been fantastic. First and foremost, thank you. We're very grateful that you shared your time, your talent, and your wisdom with us. It is critical that those that need to hear this message, and today is the day. And we're going to keep this message moving along. We want to thank you for joining us with Dr. Horton and Dr. Dan Grossman. I think it's really inspiring to see the work that's being done to improve lives through chiropractic care and through the collaborative efforts, the walking and the education and the just showing up, knowing that there's people out there that need us, and we take action. And action is the key to success. And yes, this is a moment for me to reflect, because we started the last segment off about $4,000 less than we are right now. So you two are clearly the best part of today. We have one more segment left for today, and we need your help reaching our goal. but we are currently at $27,560. That means every gift you make today, as I said previously, is going to be tripled. Wow. So if you're thinking about donating, do not wait. Your $1 now turns into $4. Consider donating now, supporting chiropractic to get the education and awareness out, showcasing that we help wherever we can. You can go to f4cp.org/ChiroThon to make your donation today, and we have an upcoming vignette. If you've missed any, do not worry, you can find them there. That's the key to success, is you can come back when you need us because we're right there with you, we're for you, and ChiroThon is all about you. So at 3:30, we're gonna be right here, and we want you to be here for our last vignette of the day. Don't wanna miss it. Come on, come right back, bring friends and family. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dennis DeLuca, the president of Biotics Research. In the late 1950s, my cousin was diagnosed with a serious illness, and my father became determined to help him. The prognosis was not good, but through science-based nutritional intervention, my cousin's quality of life exceeded medical expectations. It was that illness that brought several family members together, which led to the founding of Biotics Research in 1976.